What's up, everyone? It is Kickback Friday here at the First and Last Hit. I'm Mac Dubs. This is AJ. And tonight we've got none other than our good friend, Robert Wilson. Let's go ahead
Howdy,
and bring him
y'all.
on.
Where's everybody?
How you
There we
doing,
go.
Robert?
Robert, how's it going?
I'm doing excellent.
Seems like it's been
Awesome,
forever since
awesome,
we've had you on the
awesome.
show.
Yeah, it is, and I thought about you guys and trying to get it so my ceiling ain't showing.
Dude, you know what, man? Like, this is the second time now we forgot our cowboy hats.
Well, I looked at one of them new resistals, but they want $500 for them.
Oh,
Oh, gosh.
I bought a brand new cowboy hat one time and I wore it roping.
Uh,
And a guy I rode and it come off when I went out to rope the calf. Another guy rode his horse in and stepped on it.
oh,
oh,
Was-
gosh.
It wasn't even 8 hours old.
wow.
That's just
Let
part
me
of
tell you
roping.
what. Let me tell you what. I did my first ever live show at a live wrestling event one time, and this is before me and
I'll be right back.
Andrew here. All right, this is before me and Andrew here became partners on here, and I was at a wrestling show, and my camera guy had to take a break from holding the camera, so I was like, you know what, I'll hold it. Why not? So I'm sitting there holding the camera, and one of the wrestlers he takes a cup of beer from somebody in the audience, and he's getting ready to throw it on the other wrestler, and the other wrestler just moves out the way, and the beer goes all over my shirt, and the wrestler goes, "That shirt will be worth more now," and I'm like, "Well, are you going to sign it now?" I mean, you just
Did he
ruined a
sign it?
$100. He did, yeah. I'm like, you just ruined an $85 shirt.
Well, you know what's more? You know what? You actually have a shirt that's actually worth more than $85. I believe it's the world famous purple shirt that you own. Do you still have that, Mac? From the days of the old childhood show. You still have that purple shirt that's made you famous over the years.
I mean, yeah. I mean, if that's the way you see it. I mean, teach its own. That's all what I always say. So, Robert, since last time we seen you, what you been up to?
I put out about 10 classes in the last little bit and getting ready to put out another book. Just really been understanding when you can liberate yourself from the socialized way of life, you become free.
And the keynote that you sent us, I really like that. I'm actually going to get that printed off and post it somewhere in my house.
I write them every day, but I was out walking this morning and I was looking around and I've always seen people say navigate negativity.
Yeah.
And all the negativity is inside yourself. That's your viewpoints, opinions of the world.
However,
Very
I
true.
do got I got a question for you, Robert. Bear with me here, because my daughter is screaming and hollering. Anyways,
Oh, look at that. Now that makes the show.
oh yeah,
Yes, it does.
she's always on here. Anyways, my question is though is
Now we got a real star on the show. Probably somebody that knows what they're talking about.
does Lord be neither one of us don't.
I know it ain't me.
Sometimes.
So Robert, my question is though that how does one describe negativity? Because I believe the negativity is only how one views it or how one sees it. Like my negativity may be different than Mac's negativity may differ from yours. What
It absolutely is. And see, that's, you just hit on the secret of life. There's 8.5 billion people on the world, and everybody's going to listen and view the world in their way, and that no way is the same. And that's where we get in trouble with the school system, is they try to put us in the one size fits all, and it doesn't. It never will. And that's the truth. Negativity to me doesn't exist, because negativity is natural enterprise and gumption. I take anything that looks negative and I make it into a word or an affirmation that expands me.
I tell you what, growing up, I never had to wear what was it, uniforms to school, but they always said that the kids who wore uniforms would be better people. And I always said, a uniform doesn't make somebody a better person. Your brain and your heart makes you a better person.
You know, what they do with them uniforms is they make people fit inside the rules of their rules.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's all it does.
And I mean, to me, honestly, I disagree with uniforms. For one,
I've never been one to be. I don't like uniforms. I've never been one to follow it. Thankfully I've never really had to deal with that as a kid growing up. Then again, I always found myself suspended at least every other day growing up in school. So, well, it was from kicking my principal in nuts and getting expelled in the 3rd grade, or throwing a steel chair at my teacher in the 2nd grade.
You watched too much wrestling growing up, didn't you?
Yeah, I mean,
We all. I mean,
you know, all a uniform does is means if you follow a uniform code, you follow their way, and you're easy to control.
I'll even take it a step further here. I believe that following a uniform code at school, and this may be a little extreme, but I believe is similar to following the whole mark of the beast in the barcode or whatever. You know, it's like you don't need to put yourself as a statistic and follow the one. You know what I mean? Like there's things that I love. I love wrestling. I love mixed martial arts, but I don't bow down to it and worship it. You know what I mean? I enjoy things, but I'm not going to obsess or like have it take over my life.
That's absolute. And you know, if you ever watch, you know, I love military people, but sometimes they go in the military, and when they come out, they're too used to being told what to do and afraid to make a choice of their own.
True. And here's the thing. Life's all about choices. There's so many different roads that you can go down. It all depends on which road you take. That is your choice that you make. You can go down the road that's green, red, yellow, blue, orange.
Purple.
They're all different. Whatever. But they're not all going to end up in the same place.
Right.
One road's going to lead you to fame. One road's going to lead you to being broke. It's all about how you think about, and I'm losing train of thought here. It's the new hair gel.
It looks very fine.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, he'd be looking like a slicked back John Wayne.
I appreciate it.
Yes, he does.
But I think I know where you're getting at, Mac. It's like one decision, and it could be the tiniest decision, will change your life forever. And it could be like for instance, you're walking down the road and somebody comes up and asks you a question. If you answer yes, that could have dramatic, not even could, it will have dramatic changes that's going to completely change your whole life. Same thing if you say no. You say no, now you take a completely different path that's going to completely alter the course of your life. Just by a simple yes or no to a question.
That's very much true. And also, when you make a choice that isn't favorable to you,
Mm-hmm.
you're going to get to make another one right down the road because it's going to throw something in the way.
Oh, yeah.
I think maybe it was you the last time we talked. I made a choice on to coaching football,
Mm-hmm.
and we won our third championship this past fall, and
Good for you.
it was one of the best choices I've ever made in my life so far. I mean, it's at first I didn't want to do it. I got talked into doing it. I was like, got a bunch of little rugrats
Just
here.
Just like we were.
Yeah. If you ever seen the movie Mighty Ducks, that's kind of how I feel. But
And now we're coming
Yes.
back for a spring season, a whole new team, everything. So I'm looking forward to that.
whole new team, whole new name.
Good for you.
And so we're
We're
looking
taking
forward
it
to it.
this year.
Let's hope so. I'm hoping so. I got a story to finish, and this spring season I'm hoping to finish the story.
Well, it has the beginnings of winning already.
It does.
Well, not then.
And you know what?
Go ahead, Mac. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, go ahead. You're fine.
Listen, it's like we've been talking about finishing the story with football. It's like, and I'm going to tie this into. It seems like the conversation for tonight is after we finish that story, depending on how long it takes. Then we end up coming to that decision. It's again to me is going to change our whole course of life. Is do we continue? Or do we say, okay, it's time to move on, maybe to a different league, a different age group? Do we move on to a totally different sport? It's easy to sit and think about these things. It's easy to think about, okay, well, what if I end up in this predicament? But it's completely different when you get there. I was just talking to my wife about this, I believe tonight, or today it was, and it was something along the lines of a friend of ours is getting married, and we they're very young. They're like 18, 17, 18, something like that. And he finally popped the question. They were friends from church. Popped the question, and we expected it because of just how close, how in love they are and how well they are together. So we expected it, but it's one of those like, it doesn't really hit you until after you start to see the engagement and everything. Then it's almost like it's so surreal. It's like, yeah, it's something that's always talked about, but then when it finally, whether it's popping question or finally when it happens, it's like, oh my gosh, like I didn't really think it was going to happen. So those are the moments that you have to sit back. It's like, it's easy to talk about, but then it's a whole nother thing when it actually happens.
That's absolutely true. That's with anything in life. You can talk about it until the cows come home, but until that first action step is experienced, zero happens.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I've always sat here and I've always talked about, being on YouTube and having my own show and getting a lot of subscribers and things like that. And yeah, I mean, it's always been like a pipe dream for me, so to speak, and never thought it'd happen. And now it's like every day I'll go on the show and I'll check and I'll be like, oh, okay, wow, we got this many subscribers, and it started to see and creep up there. And it's just like I sit back, it's like I never thought that my brother and I would have our own show. We'd be doing this well with subscribers. And there's gratitude behind it. You know what I mean? Because if it wasn't for the people who subscribe and, come in and watch us, we wouldn't be who we are in a sense of having our own show. We wouldn't be as successful.
You just said something that the wisest thing. Everybody says business plan, business does this.
Mm-hmm.
How much business they do when people don't buy their product?
Yeah.
Zilch. People are the assets of the world. And when somebody says they got a business, you know what they're really saying? They got a name on a sheet of paper and a file cabinet.
Yeah.
That's all business is.
It's the people that make the business successful. I mean, you can be a business owner. You could be, a show host. You can have whatever you want. But it doesn't mean nothing unless you got the people there to support you.
And see, people, and that's the thing the world has forgotten. People are the assets. And one thing, as educated as we are, there's still one thing we can never do very well. And that's communicate.
That's most certainly true. Mac, were you going to say something there?
No, I was just agreeing with everything.
Apparently, Nevada's telling you ain't saying nothing either. She's telling you no.
Well, I'll talk to you later about that little one.
You'll be doing that for the next 20 years.
Oh yeah. Oh, look at that. Big old smiles.
Hey.
But no, it's just like I tell my football team. Communication. If you don't got communication, you don't got nothing on the field.
Well,
If you can't help somebody out by communicating with them, then why have a voice at all? Especially in a sport.
Oh, it's in life all over. I finally growed into learning, to understanding and comprehending. The world has the same communication today as we had in 1960. Really?
Go ahead, Robert. I apologize.
Oh, you're fine. What I'm saying there is everybody says they have a business, but none of them ever say they communicate with people. That's what Cowboy Wisdom Hypnoacuity is. It's enterprising wisdom to communicate inspiration to the world. And that's the thing about it. When somebody tells me they're a badass in business, that means they're in the file cabinet of bullshit.
I mean, and let's talk about that for a minute, because, there are people that will go out and get college degrees and masters and this and that, bachelors, whatever they want to get, and they flash it around and almost like it's I'm better than you. And like let me tell you something, right? Like I love having, I got a couple of certificates of my own, maybe not high school or, I dropped out in the 9th grade. So much so I was so talented at it, I dropped out twice. Because I ended up several years later, actually a couple of years ago, I went back and enrolled, and I ended up dropping out again. And it's just like, so you have a double high school dropout, and I got my own show with my brother. We're doing, I think we're doing well. And here's the thing: you don't need a piece of paper to make you successful. You are successful if you put the work in and you make yourself that way, and have the gratitude that the people are there to support you.
Just to add to what you're saying there, the thing I discovered mostly in the last 2 years If you listen, you're successful.
Mhm.
You're going to listen your way to the penthouse and talk your way to the outhouse
Yeah.
and think and know it. And the thing about it is, I'm 68 years old, and the world is more corrupt today as we're more educated than any time in history.
Actually, Robert, I have to correct you there. You're 68 years young.
Okay. Hey, all I know is when I was 18 to 25, I made it through there and going to live to be 100 because they had bets on me said whether I'd make 25.
Well, hey,
I
I
mean,
had
I
fun
have somebody bet on you. That's the way to make money. I mean, hey, he won't live to be 25. All right, I'll take that bet. And then you start collecting money as you go.
though. I did. And anyway, but the thing is we're so. You said something about. I got a class called I'm equal to everything and everybody. And here's the thing: I was a union electrician for 36 years, and you coach football.
yes.
And see, here's the thing: you're communicating with people, giving him a better forward, more foresight. But
Right.
did you ever notice? And I use Josh Allen for this. Here's a guy come out of high school with no scholarships, and everybody snubbed him, and they thought he wouldn't make it in the NFL. And he's a pretty good football player, and he's still getting snubbed. That's how arrogant the world is.
Yeah. And I
And you
want to
know,
back. Go ahead, Robert.
and the thing about it is, and if I listen to Warren Buffett, I like to hear him talk because he doesn't talk over people, he talks to people. And that's the thing. The true leaders of the world will talk to people. The arrogant ones are going to talk about people. And if you look at the CEOs today, they kind of look down on the hourly worker. But yet, as soon as they want to build something, they go ask for a tax break, and that comes from the hourly worker.
Yeah.
So I have some. So I'm I'm part Native American. I'm half Native American. And somebody once told me, if you want to listen to people, that's fine. But if you want to get somewhere in life, stand still and listen to the wind.
Ooh.
That's absolutely true. The winds of wisdom. Um, if I could do one thing in my life, I'd do this in a heartbeat. I'd like to sit down with Chief Joe Geronimo, Sitting Bull Tecumseh. I can never pronounce that name, but I'd like to sit down with the Native American chiefs and just listen for about a month.
It's funny you talk about the Sitting Bull, because I'm native, part native. I come from the Sioux tribe actually, and so I read up a little bit on Sitting Bull, and he fascinates me. But one chief I would really like to talk to, and unfortunately he's since passed, is Chief J Strongbow. I think that talking to him, would definitely get some wisdom, and that goes with any chiefs. But the natives, they have such a way about them, and it's a shame what happened to them. No matter what tribe you're from, this was their land first, and I know it's going to sound racist, but I can say it because I'm white. For the white man to come in and take over the land and push them to reserves or
You're a
reservations.
racist.
Thanks, dude.
I'm just kidding.
But it's just like nobody is better than anybody else, and that's just it. You're going to progress further, and you're going to get further in life if you view everybody as equals.
I
We all
agree.
we all have different assets. We all have different attributes. Everyone who lives in this world, let's just say like you form a team. Okay, so like we coach we coach football.
Mhm.
You have a quarterback. You have a wide receiver. You have an offensive line. You have a defense.
Mhm.
They all do different things. But here's the catch. They all do different things, but they all do the same thing and help you try and win.
Now I got a question for you. How good is a team without an offensive defensive line?
It's-
Pretty crappy, but I mean,
That's what I'm saying. It is never the glamour people that wins the game.
right.
It's the people in the trenches.
yeah. It's
Yeah,
Just like in this,
it's the people that strive. It's the people that
And
get
they
dirty.
don't get no notoriety for it. They don't get no attention for. You know what? I'll use the biggest example: Tom Brady. You know, I mean, you look at the Patriots or my team, the Bucks. All right, I mean, who was the star when he played for those teams? No, but the center didn't get no attention. The offense, defense. The only two people that ever got attention from both teams were Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski. A quarterback or one person does not make a team. Mac and I are looking forward to the combine, you know, and it's one of those like I look forward to it because of we may have differences of opinion while viewing people and looking to see how they play, but at the same time, it's not about. It's okay to have differences of opinion. When you have differences of opinion, you're going to get further, and you may see something like Matt may see something that I don't, and going with his idea or my idea is going to probably work out better. You got to trust your person.
you know, you just hit something. You know, they're giving Patrick Mahomes credit for winning the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
But it was them three
They're
guys in
streaking.
the middle on the offensive line that won that game.
Yep.
And
Oh,
the
yeah.
defensive line. See, that's the thing I have trouble with professional sports these days. They don't understand the trenches.
You know,
Because that center and two guards of Kansas City,
Mhm.
they control the line of scrimmage in every game.
So, but now, Robert, I want to get your opinion because I'm just about on a borderline tangent here, and I'm trying very hard to behave myself. So, I want to get your thoughts. Though, is do you believe that the Super Bowl was rigged for the simple fact of the whole Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce?
No.
I'd like to say no, but I don't think it was rigged. But I do think they had it shaded so Kansas City would win.
Right. I can see
But-
that. I mean, you look at past games. You look at the Deflate Gate. The most recent one I can think of was I believe it was I think Dallas versus Detroit. Or there was one game where
Oh yeah,
where
that
yeah,
was
okay.
that was.
yeah, and so you see these bullshit calls, and it's almost just like, okay, well, why didn't that get called? Suspiciously, that didn't get called, but a lesser call or something that lesser had gotten called, or you see a call that was a flag thrown and they doubled down on said call, and there wasn't a penalty that should have been thrown, and it's just like, so I believe to be full blown rigged, I don't think it's full blown rigged, but like you said, Robert, I believe that it is somewhat shaded.
But the thing I have to say about Kansas City,
Mm-hmm.
and I've watched it and I've watched it and watched it.
Mm-hmm.
If it's coming down to the last 5 minutes and you only got a 3-point lead, you're losing.
Oh yeah.
Kansas City's going to score.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I like Patrick Mahomes.
Mm-hmm.
I like all the football teams. I just don't like the negativity around football in the national media.
Right.
Well, you know, and here's another thing that people don't see in sports today is politics. Everything is there's a lot of politics going around in football, basketball,
Any
baseball,
sport.
any sport now, really, and it's just taking the sport out of sport. You might as well just be
Yeah.
like, "Hey, there's a politician playing football now," you know?
Well, here's my thing about
Yeah.
the whole Taylor Swift thing. It's like, you know, and I've said it ever since she came in and started dating Travis Kelce. I experienced this. We have a friend that watched the Super Bowl, didn't know a lick about the Super Bowl or about football. It's like, you know, take Taylor Swift, leave her to music, and let us guys have our guy time. Let us have our sports, because 3/4 of the Kansas City fan base are not even Chiefs fans. They're I guess they're what, Swifties. It's just like,
Yeah.
why, you know, and listen, I'm all for, you know, viewing people as equals, but there's just, you know, like we you don't see us guys, you know, coming into a women, like women's volleyball and bringing a whole bunch of, you know, fans there to just, you know, and then sit there. Oh well, you know, how does this work? And oh well, okay, how do you do this? And how, like, no, you know, we give the girls their time because they need it. Let us guys have our guy time. You know, there's just certain things you don't mess with, and I'm sorry, but I can't see the justice in women coming in and bothering a guy during their guy time, whether it be football or wrestling or whatever they do.
I think otherwise, but I think a woman is allowed to watch football too.
I'm not saying that they're not allowed to. I'm just saying, like, you know, I believe there's a healthy, there has to be a healthy balance. My wife loves Dallas, you know, and so we support each other's teams, but at least she knows about football. And again, I'm not going to completely shit on the fans that come and watch the Kansas City Chiefs just for Taylor Swift, but at least be willing to learn about football. Don't just come because you want to, you know, goo goo gaga over Taylor Swift because she's up in the skybox or whatever it is. If you want to come and enjoy the product, but don't just, I mean, if you're coming just for Taylor Swift, go to her concert. You know what I mean? I believe that there has to be somewhat of a healthy balance. And I'm all for people coming to learn about something, but if you're coming to learn, or if you're coming to a sport just to see Taylor Swift, what's the difference between coming to the football game or going to a concert?
The thing about Taylor Swift and Kelsey, the media blew that up.
Oh, yeah.
And that was for ratings and for money.
Mm-hmm. That's what the world is about nowadays.
But you know, one thing, something's going to occur where people are going to have to get back to morals and ethics to move forward.
And here's the thing, like, I believe now, because I want to talk about, because now we're bordering on money here. So I want to talk about this and really get this out there. I believe, and I am all open for differences of opinion. You know, I sit there, I'm very open, and I'll listen to anybody. Greed is very much misinterpreted. I believe that just because you like money and you love having money and getting more money, that does not make you greed. Greed is when you're hoarding your money and you refuse to spend it on anybody else other than yourself. I love money. I love making money. When I make money, I love making more money. But at the same time, I am also very generous, where if I have money, I'll help somebody out. I'll take them out and treat them to dinners or whatever it is. So therefore, I believe it's like I'm not being greedy because I'm also sharing my wealth. I like to have money, and that's where I think the misconception of greed comes in. Is people think that, oh well, you like to have money and you want all this money, that makes you greedy.
Well, I agree. It isn't, money isn't being greedy.
Right.
Money is exchanging wisdom,
Mm-hmm.
is exchange of energy.
Mm-hmm.
When you look at when you look at like the Black Rocks and the Vanguards and the State Farms, that's greed.
Yeah.
When you're trying
Wells
to,
Fargo.
huh?
Wells Fargo too.
All banks.
I'll be right back, you
Well,
guys.
yeah. Well, there was a story about Wells Fargo. It was, I don't know. This happened like over 100 years ago. How they started counterfeit money or something like that, and I
Yeah.
never really got into all that, but
Well, the whole banking industry is kind of run on a scam.
I believe
But
so.
see, here's the thing. I opened up to this. Money is an energy. When I exchange my wisdom for money, it's all equal. But when I take advantage of people because I'm in power, that's greed.
True.
And that's what we are today. And it's kind of fun watching what's going on in the world and how the world has aged but never matured.
Right.
Because people aren't the most important thing in the world. It's money and how people can make it is where the world is going sideways.
True.
And the thing for me is they can do that.
Yeah.
I still have. There's enough in the world for me. There's enough for everybody. And when I'm doing the right thing and it's the right vibration, I exchange my energy with the world, I get rewarded with an outcome.
So here's another thing I came across. Money from yesterday will be the same today, tomorrow, and forever.
Yeah.
You will have the same dollar the person had yesterday.
Mhm.
You will give someone else that dollar. They will give somebody else that dollar. And it will just go all the way around, back around the world. And I guarantee you, you will get that same dollar more than one time.
That's true. A dollar, every time you spend a dollar, it circulates 6 to 25 times
Mhm.
to the
Just
economy.
just like people think that money is valuable, or more valuable than a person. Here's the thing: like when you look at it, knowledge, wisdom, something that a person can bring to the table is absolutely more valuable than a dollar amount. Money is
And see,
paper.
and that's right. And people will exchange money, but when you express wisdom and insight and you raise other people's life, that's wealth.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that, see, I quit listening to self-help, personal growth, self-improvement because I discovered that's just a sideways movement, and all that is another form of business. And
Mm-hmm.
see, that's why I do the wisdom and sovereign expansion, because I want to communicate wisdom so people can go out in their daily life and
Mm-hmm.
listen to their daily life and expand out of yesterday.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, it's most certainly like money is paper that buys you materialistic things, and
Yep.
and which is okay. It's nice to have those materialistic things, but at the end of the day, I would much rather have the memories with my family than any type of money, materialistic things, because it's the memories and the the family bond that at the end of the day is going to help you out more than anything else.
And that's true. And see, you look, uh, John D. Rockefeller, he had all that money, but when he died, he was drinking milk and bread because afraid of losing his money ate him alive.
Well, you can't bring money. It's like after you pass away, the money ain't gonna go with you. You know what I mean?
Not unless somebody puts it in your grave.
Yeah, but even I mean,
But then again, it's just going to belong to the roaches and the bugs and.
And even then, though, like ain't nobody gonna put money in your grave. They're gonna put money in their pocket. They're gonna put your money in their pocket.
And see, that's true. But see, the thing is, every time I've done something just for money, it never turned out very well for me.
Right.
Now that I start, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
But see, now that I'm starting to understand the energy of money. That's the thing people never understand is the energy.
Mm-hmm.
And money has its own frequencies and energy, and I'm still expanding into it to understand it. But when somebody does things deceitful and does it like what is that? You know, like the czars did. They use it to control people, and they take money away just so they have more. That's going to end up they usually end up in a bad situation.
Money doesn't make the person. I believe the person makes the money.
That's right.
That makes sense.
I do. And that's true.
Mm-hmm.
And see, whatever you're doing in life, if you ain't raising the world, you know, and I look at it this way, we educated ourselves. The education system educated us the way they did, so we'd have this separation of power, this separation of wealth and whatever. Because when I was growing up, getting education was the only way. But the education started leaving people out because it's a one size fits all, and we never learned how to. And for me, it was my responsibility. But now that I understand, it's the wisdom and being able to let go of everything I think and know, and listen to the winds of wisdom. I will rise to wherever I want to go.
What's funny, and here's the thing that I've sat here and I've thought about it, you know, and kind of observed it, so to speak, is when somebody has money, all right, and I'll use myself as an example, and I've talked about this, you know, to a couple people, you know, you got your people who have lots of money, you know, your celebrities. They flaunt it, you know, to rub it in people's face because that helps them feel better because they don't really feel good about themselves. For me, and it changes your morals. Money, if you are that person, it will change your morals. It'll change your whole way of thinking. For me, I've never been blessed with millions of dollars, but I also believe that if you maintain your morals, you maintain your character and who you are, then I mean, yeah, it's okay to have that Mercedes or that, you know, $1 million mansion, and I mean, it's okay to have those things as long as you maintain the person you are. For instance, I mean, I always treat people the way they treat me, and I've said this all the time. I am very much Old Testament. You know, I'll treat you with respect, but you show me the same respect. And if I maintain my character and who I am as a person, then I feel like it is okay to live that luxurious lifestyle if I've ever been blessed with it. And if not, if I go the rest of my life without having that, you know, 20-bedroom house with the, you know, nice fancy car or whatever, I'm okay because that doesn't matter to me as long as I'm doing me and I like what I'm doing.
You know, I think I'm wealthiest with a tent in the desert.
Mac, you were going to say something?
Yeah, there was something. Yeah, it was just to elaborate, like on the money part. there's a country song. I forget who sings it, but in the country song, there's a part where, well, the name of the name of the song is God is good, people are great.
Oh,
God
God
is
is good.
good,
No,
beer is
it's
great, and people are crazy.
beer is
Um,
good. No. God is great. Beer is good.
beer is
People are
good,
great.
and people are
Yes.
crazy.
Yep.
Yes. Okay, but there's lyrics in that song.
Tells the story. I love that story actually.
So it's about this guy. He goes into a bar. He meets this older guy. The older guy is a millionaire.
Doesn't
He's
know it
talking.
yet. Mhm.
Yeah, doesn't know it yet. Um, he talks about how ungrateful his kids are to him, and
It talked for like
all
what
his
about an hour? It just about everything, life and everything. Talked for like an
yeah,
hour.
and you know talks about chicks and everything. But then uh, just after that one night,
Never seen him again after that.
never sees him again. And a couple of months, 6 months later, the guy who was talking to the old man becomes a millionaire because the millionaire left his money to the guy at the bar
Yeah,
and left nothing for his kids.
yeah,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
that one encounter. It's that one encounter with somebody. You know, and I say this too. It's like you'd be walking down the street, and just as simple, hey, how you doing to somebody could completely change their life. It could even save a life. Just by simple, hey, how you doing? How's your day? That act of kindness could completely change somebody else's life.
Well, you never understand what your words are going to do for somebody,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
you know? And, I like saying good morning to everybody, but when I'm out in the desert walking, I get some funny looks once in a while. And then my favorite thing is when you see somebody walking with a dog,
Mm-hmm.
say, well, that dog's got a human on a leash. You should see the look she gets sometimes.
Uh,
But, when it comes to money, if you have
mhm.
to have money to feel good, you're very insecure.
Oh yeah.
Uh, so you say you take walks in the desert. Do you ever say good morning to the cactuses?
No, but I say good morning to the coyotes.
Do you wear your cowboy hat?
No, I wear one of these kind of caps. I've wore a ball cap since about 1977,
So then, is it
and
safe to say that we could call you Ballcap Wilson?
you could call me anything. I was married once. I
Oh,
had lots of names,
Don't we all?
yeah.
and some days I didn't even know what my name was. But anyway, she was a good person.
Some of the
But the
names that
thing I
I've
learned,
received haven't even been for marriage. They've been some of the names that I've been called in my marriage. I've been called well before that from my parents.
yeah, I've been called that. And anyway, but the thing I learned about, I got divorced in '94. The
That's
thing
almost
I
four
learned
years
about
old.
my divorce in '94 is
Hmm.
my wife had nothing to do with our divorce. On my side, it was
Hmm.
me, all me.
Oh wow. Okay.
She has to deal with what her stuff is with her. But
Hmm.
what I
Right.
did was all my stuff. And that was what my life expanding, the life expanding wisdom is for me to discover whatever that was. And the biggest thing I discovered about my marriage that really failed it, I was afraid to listen and I had to be right. Well, I was right as night, stayed in the dark. But that's the thing. It's about listening. You don't have to say anything. Listen and let them sometimes let people vent and just listen. You get through a lot of things.
Oh, Robert, I really like you, man. Like, we got to get you on the show more often. You're always, I every time, like even last time, I think I said the same thing. You're always bringing such a wealth of knowledge to the viewers and myself, and I'm sure for Mac too. You blow my mind with some of the things you say because it helps
Well,
me out quite a bit.
I'm going to tell you, I had 6 things that was all my challenges. I had to be right. I had to tell people what to do, and then I stopped being told what to do. My egotistical arrogance, know-it-all ignorance, stubborn thinking, hard-headed knowing, and alcohol. That was my challenges. Once I got rid of them and learned how to listen and rise, life become easier. And see, the thing about life, there's 4 things we're really afraid of in life. Stop being told what to do, not being told what to do, having to tell people what we know, relaxation, and inspiration.
So is there a difference? Sorry. But so is there a difference between telling someone what to do outside of work and telling someone what to do while at work?
Yes.
Well, when you're at work and if you're in a power position, but a lot of times when you're outside of work, if you really learn how to use questions, you can tell them what to do with a question. And see,
go ahead, Robert. I apologize.
Well, see, the thing about it is, you know, let's say you got to go. I don't like for me, you have to go move this electrical panel.
Mm-hmm.
Would it behoove us if we move this electrical panel over to here so that opened the pathway, or let's go move the panel? Which one makes you feel better?
Yeah.
And see, and outside of work,
mm-hmm.
you listen, and then when you start to tell people, and as soon as the words think and know come into a conversation,
mm-hmm.
that conversation's dwindling. Because
mm-hmm.
people go into their I have to be right mode. So if you listen and say, or just say, what would be the highest outcome for you if you did this, or what you're going to do? See how them simple little slip of the words takes the stubbornness out of people.
And you know, I learned this the hard way, but sometimes admitting. I mean, I can just say it for most people, or for mostly all people. Admitting that you were wrong will make you right in some type of way.
You know, that's the best way you can say it. I admit it to get it, to admit it to get rid of it. And see, you just hit on something that's really very, very astute. Because when you can admit you encompass your parents' stuff,
mm-hmm.
you can get rid of it and come to present moment. And that's something I had to expand through. And my dad, he would get mad real easy, and I never would admit that I had that. Well, I did, and once I started understanding, I encompassed my dad's get mad quick, I got to erase it. And see, that's the thing, something, whenever you're having a challenge in life, if you just go back to your childhood, something may come up and allow you to get rid of it.
It's very, so my greatest gift, I believe, and I've been told this a couple of times, that I have the gift of observance. You know, I like to talk. You know, Mac knows this. We'd be on the phone 3-4 hours, sometimes longer. But it's those times where if I'm sitting there, I'm just kind of like looking around, or I really ain't got much to say. And whether it's observing something that somebody's saying, I'll tell, okay, and I put that in the back of my mind, or and maybe it'll help me out later, or whether it's looking at photos, or viewing something outside or in the home. It's like, oh, okay. For instance, I was in Utah visiting a friend. My wife and I were, and I happened to look up at his family photo there, and something caught my eye, and I'd never seen this photo before. And I looked and said, she's pregnant in that photo. He looks up there. He says, yeah. He says, how'd you know that? He says, well, it said the hand placement. And he says, it's funny that you mentioned that. He says, because they didn't, that it wasn't intentional. And I can't remember if he said that they even didn't know that they were pregnant at the time, or it just happened to be that's the way the photo was taken. But he really called me out on my observance, and you couldn't even really tell that she wasn't showing. And he says, wow, you really have amazing observance. And so, although and I use that even when I'm talking, I'll sit there and during a discussion, whether I'm talking aloud or very little, I'm always taking bits and pieces of what people are saying, and I'm storing that in the back of my mind because it may be useful later.
And that's very true, because the subconscious mind is the best tape recorder and video recorder in the world.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that's the reason I say go back, because if you're having a challenge and just start admitting that you got it. Because see, all the challenges, chaos, adversity, controversy in the world are awakenings. Everything that's going on in the world today is an awakening. But we're so caught up in we have to do it this way, we stay in the dismay of it. And what the world is really asking us is for a better way, because they taught us the misery of history. They never taught us the wisdom of history. And once you teach the misery, the world stays in the misery of history, because that's what we know.
Yeah, it's and I'm going to bring up kind of an ongoing joke here. Is and I want to tell. And so, Rob, I want to get your opinion. Do you believe that we are living? And either Mac can give the backstory or myself, and I see Mac smirking, so I think he knows where I'm going with this. Do you believe that we are living in the Gopher times? So
I think we're living in a hellacious awakening.
Well, so to give a backstory, Mac, or Robert, I'm sorry, I'm losing my train of thought here. So the Gopher times, I believe, and Mac also believes, we've been living in it for quite some time, is because we use a gopher or groundhog to determine spring and winter. So does that not technically mean that we are in the Gopher times? I feel like we're
I'd have to say yes, the way you presented that.
Mac, I think you're onto something here.
But to me, and this is my own way of looking at life, but I think we're in the biggest awakening, and all this, basically the warmongering ways are going to get featured in a hard way on the people that do war.
Mm-hmm. And I'm kind of bordering into controversial stuff here, and it's a shame that it's a controversial topic. Religion is, regardless of what religion you are, the Bible is the Bible, and we are living, and we're in the 11th hour, and it's the book of Revelation. I choose me personally, I don't like thinking about the future. I like to very much live in the moment, because if I'm too busy worried about death and all that, I'm not living my life as God has intended me to. I'll pass away when God is ready for me. I believe that the earth and everything with the end of times, that'll happen on God's time. And it's been brought to my attention. I have a friend that always hammers, we're in the 11th hour, this and that and the other. Yeah, we are seeing things playing out now in the world, as it is in the Bible. But I believe that people are getting too enthralled or too enamored in all of that stuff. And it's just like, if it doesn't pertain, and here's my views, if it doesn't pertain to me or my family, I don't feel the need to stress myself or to worry myself over something that's not, what I mean? It's not affecting me.
You said something that's very unique and very true. But here's the thing: people are, every time you get real arrogant and you really try to get to be that know-it-all ignorance going in me anyway,
Mm-hmm.
I always got humble pie coming down the road.
Oh yeah.
And the world has got a bunch of humble pie coming down the road. But it takes more strength to live in peace than it does in war.
Yeah.
Internal strength, that is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And the trouble and the challenge is we have to be taught peace. We have to teach ourselves peace. We think it'd be easy, but we've never experienced peace. Look at the world. It gets in peace for 6 months. It's got to have something go on because somebody can't stand it.
So, I have a question for both of you, actually.
All right.
So, can you go a whole day without speaking? I mean, you're by yourself. Nobody's around you. Can you go a whole day without saying one word?
No,
No.
because I have to
If
have my
this
little
world-
flare-ups cussing at the world, cussing at something on the computer.
So now I want to turn the question to you, Mac. Can you do that?
I've tried and I've practiced. I can go about 30
20
seconds.
minutes.
Yeah, well, you got me beat. I'm probably not 29.
I mean, and it's a thing that I try to practice every day. It's like when I'm not doing this or coaching or anything else that has to do with business wise, or if I'm writing or whatever. I'm just sitting at home and nobody's here. I'll try and go an hour without saying anything. But
Thanks, Mac, for making me feel bad, because there's times I call you and ain't nobody home, and you answer the phone and say,
but it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard not to cuss at something, because let me tell you what, I was at work today, and in the amount of 15 minutes, I got 60 missed calls.
I seen that post on Facebook too.
I got 60 missed calls, and none of them were good. They were all spam calls. And I'm like,
Real job.
I don't know what number you guys get up down there or wherever. We get 725 all the time, and that's Las Vegas.
Okay.
I mean, I get calls from Hawaii. I get calls from Hawaii, Las Vegas. I get calls from Africa.
Well, I probably did. And another thing is, have you ever got a spam call with your own phone number?
Yes.
Me too.
Now, I
As
want to
much-
ask you both. I want to ask you both a question right here because Mac just touched on something. Have you guys ever gotten? I know I have. Have you guys ever gotten a call that you wish was a spam call?
all the
But
time.
Yes.
I mean, and what I'm alluding to is Mac had
Yes.
brought up Hawaii, and I'm almost for certain that I wish text messages. I wish a couple of our Hawaii text messages would have been spam, and unfortunately, it happened to be messages that we had to answer to.
So we have a. Oh, wait. So I'm just going to ask this. Do you know?
The Muffin Man. Of course. I
Haha,
do.
yeah. Do you know? Do you know a person by the name of Albert Lemire?
That ain't ringing true for me. No.
Okay, good. Don't ever learn that guy's name.
Robert, are you on Hawaii time?
No, I'm in Arizona. I'm on mountain time.
Oh,
See, Arizona don't do mountain or daylight savings time. We go from March to November on mountain time, and from November to March from March to November on Pacific time, and from November to March on on mountain time. And that gets really kind of weird when like these calls, you got to remember they're 2 hours and not 3 hours because 3 hours is easy, but but now it's getting
Yeah.
easier because I've been here long enough.
So
Robert,
I gotta
bless your heart, but you just confused the hell out of me.
No. See, in the spring, you guys go ahead. You go from 2 to 3.
Mhm.
We don't change times. We stay at the same time. We just change time zones.
Why can't we have that?
Why do they even have to do it? Just leave it.
Yeah,
Just leave it on daylight savings time year round.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, there's
I think
something.
Alaska does that as well.
Yeah.
Well, they were talking about getting rid of it and being done with it. I think last year, and
Well, I wish they could because I like to fall back and have my extra hours sleep. But
Mhm.
I mean,
Yeah.
look, I got a spam call a couple of years ago. It wasn't really I wouldn't say it was a scam call. And guy calls and he said something to me. He was like, "This is San Antonio Police Department. This is Officer John Smith. Something about my social security number." And I was like, okay, and then I just play along with it for a few minutes, and then I what, I gotta go. Bye.
So
So
many.
he called my cell phone, and then wait. So and then he calls my house phone. How the heck did you get my house phone number?
Mhm.
But I can see why. He calls the house phone, and I pick up, and I'm sounding like a woman. I'm like, "Hello," and then he's like, "Hello," and I'm like, "Who is this?" And he goes, "This is John Smith with the San Antonio Police Department." I was like, "Well, you were just mocking me." And he's like, "No, you were just mocking me," and I'm like, "Are you gonna try and scam me, or are you gonna shoot the shits with me?" I mean,
You're gonna shoot the shit out of you, and I'm gonna invite you over for a beer.
he's like, "I was just calling to tell you that we're sending a." He's like, "I'm calling to tell you that we're sending an officer over to arrest you. You have a warrant for your arrest." And I'm like,
All right.
"Okay." I was like, "Well, I'll be at the
When he
beach."
gets here.
I was like, "Well, I'll be at the beach." He's like, "Oh, I already know what beach you're going to be at." I'm like, "Okay, well, Then you can find me
Bring your
on
swim
beach.
trunks.
Bring your swim trunks. Bring your surfboard.
So
You know, I donated to the police fund, you know, and
Yeah.
now it's an every other day call if I can donate more.
I get those very rarely, and usually when I'll answer, and they'll say, "Hey, it's Officer so and so for the wondering to make a donation." Sorry, don't have it. Um, and usually they'll try to continue on. I just hang up. But anymore, I'll answer, and if I hear something about it's Officer so yada yada bullshit, I just hang up. I figure if it's that important, they'll call me right back to tell me something happened. But now I want to touch on some really creepy stuff because Mac had brought up John Smith. And our friend had dated a John Smith before, and he sadly passed away. But tell me how after he had passed away, I can't remember if it was I think it was a voicemail. I get a voicemail that on my phone from John Smith, it says, and there was nothing on the voicemail, and I could not delete said voicemail. It just said John Smith, and it said his name, and I can't remember if it showed his picture or not. And I could not delete it for anything. This was after the guy's passing, and I can't remember if it was on Messenger or on my phone, but it would not delete or anything, and there was nothing on the voicemail. There was nothing there. It was just really odd. It's just like it's shit like that creeps me out.
Yes. And the thing is they call, and when they ask for information, that's an instant click.
Well, yeah, and I get calls like that too. It'll say either spam risk or just a regular number, and I'll answer it, and I'll say hello, and I click. I was like, all right, cool. Like, at least you said hi, asshole.
It's like today. It's like today I was at work, and it was somebody called me and they said, hi again. They was like, hi, this is John Smith with the home warranty. We had talked a couple of months ago, and you agreed that we were going to come out and fix your roof and stuff like that. And he was like, we'll be there within.
Arrest me a few months ago.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, weren't you a police officer a few months ago? And now you're wanting to come fix my roof?
It's like you want to put me in jail a few months ago. Now you're coming to do repairs on my home. Like, make up your mind.
But the ones that get me the most? The ones that get me the most is the ones that call and they say like something's like wrong with like one of your accounts or something like that, and you have to go to like a grocery store or something and get like an iTunes card or an Amazon card.
Yep.
Or some
Google
type
Play.
of gift card. Yep.
Mhm.
Yep. And you have to get some type of like card, and you have to give them like the password and everything on the
And
card.
there's people that fall for that, bro. There are people. My mother-in-law has fallen for that quite a few times, to the point where it just about took her sanity away. But I feel like I could go on an extra like 2 or 3 hours just on that base alone. But they're actually getting very smart about that now. Now you get text messages that'll say, there's something wrong with your account, or check your account, this or that. And actually, I think it's usually when I have a package coming, and I'm waiting for a Temu package or some type of package, I'll get a notification that you need to update, or package can't be delivered because of incomplete address. And I fall for it every time because I won't open it. I'll go to my Temu and I'll check. And I'm like, no, my address is right. And then I'll go because I have another tracking app, and I'll go. I'm like, no, it's saying this. It's like, get me every time. Like, why?
So
Yeah.
we share the same business phone number. So that's why that's why, when we contacted you, you saw my name and his name because we have the same business phone number, share the same email.
Yep.
The other day I got a notification on my phone. It was saying that email password has been changed. So I go to our podcast email, and I was like, I'm still logged in. And then 5 minutes later, I get a scam text saying, "Hey, I changed your password for you. Can you please tell me what it was?" Are
That's
you
pretty
dumb?
cool.
Are you dumb? Like, are you dumb?
Yeah.
It's
You
like, hey,
know,
I'm at the ATM. What's your PIN code?
and you know, the best one is when somebody uses the bank's phone number and calls you. I've had that a couple times.
I've had people coming from pretending to be like Social Security and like the police and like home warranty. And there was one time I had one. It was like, "Hi, this is your Aunt Joyce," and I'm like, "I have no Aunt Joyce."
Max, you even had somebody come up and very honestly tell you that they were trying to rob you.
Yes, I did.
You gotta share. I love that story. You gotta share it with Robert.
Give me 1 second.
Robert, while Mac is taking a minute, I just want to, from the bottom of my heart, and I'm sure Max as well, sincerely thank you for taking the time to come be on the show.
This is my honor and privilege. I like having fun. We have a conversation about life, and I like that.
Well, and we got that from another guest too. Who said, coming on the show, people expect our guests expect to just come on the show and have the same thing as like, okay, asking questions. It's like, no, that's not what our show is about. We're not your typical show or interview show where we're going to ask you and pound you with questions. Just come back, come over, chill with us, hang out, have discussion. That's what it's about.
I mean, yeah. Sorry to cut you off, but just to elaborate from what he said, I mean, yeah, I mean, we'll talk about, what you've been up to and what your plans for the future and stuff like that, but I don't want to sit here and pound you with everything and then it's like, all right, what's this next question? All right, what's this next question? All right, what's this next question?
If somebody listens to this podcast, they're going to get a lot of information about everyday life. About we was talking about them scams and stuff like that. That may help somebody from getting scammed.
Oh, Robert. So while bringing that up, we'll have Max share you his story, and then we'll get your thoughts on this here. I've never known for anybody to honestly come up and tell somebody that they were going to rob them.
So, it's the company that I work with now, but it was years ago. I would say maybe about 3 years ago. So I live in North Carolina, and I would say like one of our roughest parts is in Durham. But there's rough parts everywhere. I was at a gas station. We were doing a job, and pulled up to a gas station, and my coworker's like, "Hey, I'm running inside. You want anything?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." I gave him a $10 bill. I was like, "Just give me a couple of Gatorades and get whatever you want." So he goes inside, and I had my window like halfway like cracked or whatever, and I'm sitting there, and the guy comes up to the window, and he was like, "Hey," I'm like, "Hello," and he was like, "Something I want to tell you." I'm like, "Okay." He's like, "I just want to let you know that I thought about robbing you," and
Did
I'm
you
like,
say, I'm thinking about doing something else to you?
um, and I started to open the door, and then I was like, "Okay." And I was like, "Well, what made you want to do that?" He was like, "Well, I need the money." And I was like, "Well, you're not going to get it out of me because I just gave my last $10 to my coworker." Um, I mean,
You broke that person's heart.
Max,
I'm like
shame on
Andrew.
you. Why
I'm
why
like
would you do
Andrew.
that to that poor guy?
I'm like Andrew. I'll help anybody out. I mean, but you know,
I mean,
uh,
again, though, the dude had a nice heart. I mean, the dude was nice enough to come in and at least tell you he was thinking about it.
I mean, he would have had a hard time. You know, I mean, if he was like physically trying to fist fight or wrestle me, for my money, I mean, he would have had a
6'5",
hard time.
250 pounds.
I'm sick. Yeah, I'm 6'5", 250 pounds. You know,
Well, that was illogical on his part.
I mean, he just saw me sitting in the truck. I mean, and then people just say I'm a scary person. Anyways, it looks. I mean, my
Well,
beard does it
6'5",
all.
250, that's pretty good sized people.
Um, but I mean, I've been called different names. I've been called the Walker Texas Ranger. Uh,
I can see that.
but that's a funny story though because my grandma took me to go see my great aunt, which was her sister, and she had I forget, what was it, Alzheimer's or uh something like that. It was one of those where you forget like who people are and where you're at and
Dementia.
dementia. Um, it was either one of those. I can't remember. Um, and so I get taken over there. It was me and my younger brother at the time, and we're going over there, and I walk in the door, and she's like, "Helen, do you remember? Do you know who this is?" No, never seen him before in my life. Um, well, you grew up. I grew up running over to your house, stealing your Coca Colas and raisin cakes all the time. Well, that never rung a bell. Um, so I went to go use the bathroom, and the TV was on. So I went to go use the bathroom. I washed my hands, I came back out, and my grandma goes, "Are you sure you don't know who this is?" And she goes, "No." And then, like 5 minutes later, we're sitting here watching Walker Texas Ranger, and she goes, "Wait a minute, I know who you are."
Uh-oh.
She goes, "You're Cordell Walker."
Hey, you got to admit that's pretty good.
Oh, yeah, pretty funny,
I think it's really funny.
pretty funny, pretty funny. I thought it. I mean, I got a kick out of it. Uh,
I
so the
bet
whole
you
time,
did.
I mean, so like, no. So the whole time, I mean, I kind of felt like she was about to sit there and ask me questions like, "How did you take this guy down?" Or "How did you
That would have
kill
been
this
great.
guy?"
That would I would have.
That would have been so great. You
I'd
know?
allow. Yeah,
She
that would have
just
been
wanted
good.
an autograph.
or if she would have been like, "Can I see your gun?"
Yeah. Especially your nickel plated one.
Exactly.
Mike,
Like
you should have offered her an autograph as soon as she said, "Oh, look, I know you. You're Cordell Walker." I would have turned around and said, "Would you like an autograph there, or an autograph there, ma'am?"
well, hey, look, I'm doing an autograph session and photo op at the end of the month. So if anybody wants a photo and an autograph of myself, email me.
Hey, gentlemen, I got something I got to do yet. So,
Alrighty.
Alrighty.
God, we got to do this again.
Of course, anytime.
Sure. Oh,
Anytime.
before you go, we do have something to run by you, though. Yeah, Andrew.
There's something else on my mind, but now I'm not. Oh, it put me on the spot. Thanks. Like I feel like I'm on
The new YouTube channel.
Oh yes,
What's the-
okay. Our new YouTube channel. Are you talking about the news?
Yes.
Oh yes. That's where I thought you were going, but I had brain fart. Anyways, Robert, we're starting our another YouTube channel. Is where we're talking about it's where we give the news. And what's the name of it, Mac?
I don't know yet. We don't know
We're
yet.
still working out the kinks, but
But,
our new YouTube channel, we're gonna, we have become news anchors now. So,
Okay.
I just want to get your thoughts and see if you think that'd be a good idea.
As long as yes, I do, and I'm going to tell you why. Because you guys will put some, not truth out there, but actually some authentic information. And you're going to get it from I'm just going to say, a country boy perspective.
And I think we have a lot to offer with our new news station because we're not reading from a teleprompter. We're not having somebody in our ear telling us what to say.
And
We're giving it to you straight how we see things and news that we, if we haven't firsthand experienced or have seen, it's
I think it'll be great because you guys got that country boy attitude.
we try.
Appreciate it.
I've been blessed with living in both Amish country and right smack in the cities. So,
well, there's some cities like are pretty country, and then you get New York and L.A.
Yeah. And Las Vegas.
Yeah, Las Vegas. I lived in Las Vegas in early 2000. I don't know, Las Vegas was a nice town, but ever since the Raiders come in,
I recognized you from somewhere. I knew he played Elvis.
yeah, right.
yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. No.
I was.
Elvis is still alive today.
He probably is. I don't know.
Can you about
But
this
the one
alone?
the one I do think is alive is Kenneth Lay, the guy from Enron.
Oh yeah.
I've never heard of him.
Oh, he was a big honcho in Enron. He was everybody's gift until he got being caught a crook. And he died right afterwards. I got a feeling he slithered out of the country.
I think a lot of people that have they say that have died are still alive.
Except for the ones the Clintons deal with.
Right.
Yeah.
But thanks again, Robert, for coming and come back with
my honor and privilege.
For the bottom of our hearts, thank you again. We love having you on the show. You're one of our best guests, and you're always open. when we reach out to you. You always take the time to answer, and we truly appreciate it. You don't know how grateful we are.
Well, you guys are good people.
We try.
Appreciate it. We try.
Whoever says they're good or this all the time's a liar. We do our best every day, and that's all we can be.
Oh yeah.
I enjoy the test to be the best, so there it is.
And I think you sent some free downloads for the viewers and listeners to check out. Sorry, we'll get that posted up on our
And
website.
Website, yeah.
and there's the thing is that a lot of it's just PDF questions, but there is some good audios on there.
Cool.
And there's one that's called The Outside World is a Tour Guide, and that's all it is. We're the ones that make the outside world through our learning how to blame and shame and do everything in the outside world. The outside world does nothing, but we do it to ourselves.
So I have an idea about a book, but I don't want to talk about it on air. I'll shoot you a text message here sometime this week and see what you think.
Well, here's the thing about writing a book. Just write it.
Here's the thing about writing a book: you take that chapter out, leave that chapter in there and take it out later.
Yeah, but just write it.
Mm-hmm.
Just sit down and start writing. And one thing I've learned about writing, when you're writing a book for people to expand people, you get to get rid of a lot of your own. Basically, you're just getting rid of your own gunk.
Yeah.
All these people that tell people what to do in all these self-help books, that's their limitations. It's coming from them.
True.
Every word you speak is about yourself. And that's kind of where it is, for me anyway.
Oh, yeah. No, it's definitely words of wisdom. Robert, again, we love having you on the show. We don't want.
I love being here.
Yeah. No, we appreciate that, but we don't want to keep you too long because we don't want to keep you from from what you were going to do. I mean, again, let's have you back. I mean,
I'd love to be back. This is more like just like liberation. We get to just be who we are.
And see, that's all we want people to be. We don't want people to come up here and be uptight. And if you want to talk about your stuff and that's all you want to talk about, then fine. That's what we can talk about.
But here's what we did tonight. We talked about life. And some people may not have any heard of some of this stuff, and it may stop somebody from getting ripped off.
Huh?
Yeah. I mean, you're right.
98%. There's so many scams out there. You don't know, but you guys keep living and experiencing life to have fun. Well, gentlemen, you have a good evening and enjoy your day. And thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. You guys are some of the greatest people in the world.
Well, we really appreciate it.
And
we try.
Well, we only do what we do, and whoever don't like it can just F off.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll be in touch, and we'll catch you down the road again.
All right. Thank you. You guys enjoy your evening.
All right. Thank you. You too.
Robert.
What a great guy.
I know.
What a great show. I'm going to tell you what, dude. I'm going to tell you what. And I think this was
Yeah,
I don't know. Dude. I'm just like
I think
trapped in an emotional spirit right now, dude. And
that's definitely. I'm gonna go on and say this is one of the best episode we've had so far. However, you and I need to talk about this this book though that you be talking about now, huh?
oh no. Yeah, I mean no,
I
it just like no, it just like literally just like crossed my mind. Like when we were talking to him, it's like he's saying stuff, you're saying stuff, I'm
we'll
saying
talk
stuff.
about it off air for sure. I mean, so I want to throw this up. You did it before I did.
Appreciate
So
appreciate it,
yes,
appreciate it.
thank you.
This
I
is
mean,
actually one of our best shows. And like I said, you know, I don't know, man. It's just like I said, dude. I'm caught up in like an emotional
oh, for sure.
weird right now, dude, and it's it's just crazy.
Oh yeah.
It's really crazy.
So
Um,
before we wrap up here, um, Mac, you want to hit them with our website?
actually, I want to hit him with some lyrics. Can I rap real quick? Audience, can I spit a flow real quick?
Crickets.
I take that as a no. Anyways,
Go for
I
it. No,
mean,
hold up.
I'm not rapping. It's just some lyrics that I really think.
Come on, Mac. We got audience wanting to hear you spit some hot
All
bars.
right, give me a second. Let me pull it up real quick. But yes, you go ahead and talk about our website and everything else.
So,
And
gee, thanks, Mac, for making me look so
I'm sorry.
unprofessional.
I just gotta find these lyrics.
So while you're doing that, though, for anybody who likes Reeboks, please go and check them out. Buy yourself some nice stuff over there. Today's show has been sponsored by Reebok, Ball Club. Again, get you some nice stuff over there as well. But come check out our website. And our website, bear with me here. I don't have it memorized, and I apologize. That's my bad. So I didn't think Mac would put me on the spot like this. So now I feel embarrassed.
You know, and I wanted to say these lyrics, um, for with while Robert was here, but I just couldn't think about it.
I'm here, Mac. Go ahead.
Oh, I don't know. What are you doing? Oh, anyways, while you're doing that, I'll just say these lyrics.
Mm-hmm.
So the beginning goes, looking in a distance, I'm dreaming of a world for us. When the moons align, we'll map out a journey for you and I, for you and I. You know what the beginning of that is? That's the beginning of in the movie Peter Pan.
Oh, okay.
Where they talk about going to Neverland. And then it's like, and then after that it goes, in the night I'm alone
Holy
without
shit.
you.
I apologize, Mac. I did it. I was able to in the comments throw our website in there.
Let's go.
Tubespace.io/first and last hit show 1. Please go check us out. And now that I was able to get it to work, we're going to start putting it in the comments for people.
Yes, sir.
Sorry, Mac. Go ahead.
You're fine. So yeah, so the lyrics is looking in a distance, I'm dreaming of a world for us. When the moons align, we'll map out a journey for you and I, for you and I. And then the next line, the next verse says, "In the night I'm alone without you. I'm drifting off. When you take my hand, I'm so high up I'll never land." And then it drops into the lyrics. Um, and the lyrics are, everybody want to be on top. I don't think they know what that means. Once you get there, then you can't stop. Everybody gunning for your spot, aiming at your team. I'm up all night chasing dreams. Everything changed. Everything changed when you go from seeing it all, big screens, to behind the scenes, leading us on like this is the life they lead. You know, the rich and famous kill themselves to stay rich and famous. Uh, very same thing that they built their name with, be the same thing that they be enslaved with. So I don't want rap. You can have that. I don't want the crown. I'm aiming past that. It's the kingdom where my dad's at, and I'm his son. My sin gone, so death won't have that last laugh. Child of a king, royalty, that's ass cap. They go broke trying to look rich. I can't do it. I just won't. My new goal is to be close to the one that made my soul, man. The mother highs will go and let you down. I'm trying to get high so I'll never land.
Bars.
And here goes another one. Here goes, they want more glory, money, and power before you go. I promise you it's empty. We aiming just way too low. I know we on things we don't need to impress people we don't know. Yep.
Mic drop.
So before we go, I'm going to also play the original song. So,
all right.
Bear with me.
And we don't own any of the rights to the music played here today.
No. Hello, Poppy. How are you?
I'm your Poppy pitch.
Whoa. 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 I was talking about my cat here, but
oh, that's right. You refer to me as Daddy. That's right.
no, I refer to you as bro. All right, here we go. Present. Share screen. Share screen. Andy Minio. Share.
YouTube is the #1 site for millions of creators online. But as more people flood to
Why
the
can't I
platform,
hear it?
it's getting harder for your content to stand out from the crowd.
Oh, no.
That's
Can
where
you hear
Squizzy
it?
can help.
Yep.
You can hear it playing?
Yep.
I can't. That's weird.
Even the audience in the chat can hear it.
That is totally weird. But okay. I don't know what's going on.
For you and I in the night, I'm alone. Without you, I'm drifting low. When you take my hand, I'm so high up, I'll never land. I'll never land. I'll never land. I'll never land.
Look, everybody wanna be on top. I don't think they know what that means, but to get there, then you can't stop. Everybody gonna pick your spot, aiming at your team. I'm up all night, chasing dreams. Everything changed when you go from seeing it all, big screen to behind the scenes. Lean us on like it's the light that lead, huh? Know the rich and famous kill theyself to stay rich and famous. Very same thing that they built their name with, be the same thing that they be enslaved with. So I don't want rap, you can have that. I don't want the crown, yo, I'm aiming past that. Headed for another throne, can't have that. This a kingdom where my dad's at. And I'm his son, my sing gun, so death won't have that last laugh. Child of a king, royalty,
That's pretty
that's
accurate.
ass cap they want. Glory, money, and power before you go. I promise you it's empty, we aiming just way too low. I know we own things we don't need to impress people we don't know, that we go broke trying to look rich. I can't do it, I just want my new goal is to be close to the one that made my soul, man. Them other highs gonna let you down. I'm trying to get so high, I'll never
In
land
the
down.
night, I'm alone. Without you, I'm drifting low. When you take my hand, I'm so high up, I'll never land. I'll never land. I'll never land. I'll never land. And I'll never
I
land.
am Rufio with the ripped jeans, Cool Mo with the 16s. In the studio, Michelangelo with a microphone, writing 16s. But these songs ain't for the chapel. Try to build with others, your own attack you. Try to be a light and they blowing the match you lit. Can't use a shotgun to catch a fish, I'm on. Using a different tactic, come with your boom Baptist. Look at this rap cat with glasses, cooking the track. And every time I look at my past, I laugh like, you know where I should have been at. Nowadays, I just want to make it classic. Trying to set the bar where you're above the average. Then smash that for the glory of God and do rappers like Apple, even without jobs. Sitting on the writer's block, penning everything that I've been in and out of ever since the album dropped. Things change, get the feeling they won't stop. I don't want to grow up, never land, got no clocks. But let me give them bars and no shots to catch up. I got a message about a blessing, but it's written in cursive. You're gonna face death, I know the one to reverse it. Listen, when I say I get so high, I ain't even talking about sticky, no lie. The way up is down. Stay low to the ground and you close to the clouds. Listen, when I say I get so high, I ain't even talking about sticky, no lie. The way up is down. Stay low to the ground and you close to the clouds. For
In
real
the
though.
night, I'm alone. Without you, I'm drifting low. When you take my hand, I'm so high up, I'll never land. I'll never land. I'll never land. I'll never land.
Very weird how I kind of remember.
I'll never land.
I need to get another
I'll
laptop.
never land. I'll never land.
I'll never land.
I'll never land. I'll never land. I'll never land. And I'll never land. I'll never land. I'll never land. I'll never land. And I'll never land.
Nice. So everybody, come check us out tomorrow night at the Hit Lounge Saturday night, where we're going to sit back and chill in the lounge and maybe listen to some music, sit and bullshit.
Maybe try and find somebody to come on and kick back with us again. Who knows?
Any questions, comments, email us, text us, just reach out, let us know. Also, if you guys
Oh.
have
We want to have. We need. So we need people for talent show.
oh yes, if you have any special talents or lack thereof, please reach out to us. Let us know what your best and worst talents are, and come join us on this show.
And if you know anybody, send them our way.
Absolutely. I think it's
I
about
want
time we.
to start doing a talent show at least on every other Saturday or on Saturday.
All right.
Every other Saturday is Saturday. Doesn't matter. matter.
Yeah, once or twice a month, I think would be great.
And
Get the lounge popping. There we go.
yeah, we'll do one for us and then one with Bill Griffin.
There we go.
Bravo, H-Town, represent Bill Griffin.
I think it's about time we throw it up there. And for any of your Carter collectible needs, please come and check us out. We most likely have what you're looking for. That is AC's Cards and Collectibles. We will have what you need at a very decent price. Please come check us out. And on that note, let's throw it up there, Mac. And if it ain't sweet,
It ain't tasty. Now, on that note, everyone that's in here or everyone that's listening, they'll be listening later on. Who cares? I don't know what you do when you do it. It doesn't matter. Too sweet your arse on out of here.
you go hit that subscribe button. It's just right down there. And hit that
Subscribe, the
bell.
like, and
That was notified.
love
when
you
we
guys.
notified. Love y'all. Too sweet your asses on out of here.